gonna do a full analysis on the euro dollar. But before I do, I want to show you something really special. All right, these buy signals you see here. In fact, that sell signal you ignore because that's right before the Asian session. So yeah, you got rules. But after the Asian session, that orange line kicks off. We take these trades along. Smart money uses VWAP and volume profile with their algos. And what we're doing is doing our best to replicate what they do so we can be on the right side of the market. I mean, look at these signals. Another golden rule, if this little line here is heading south, don't touch it. When it starts to head north, when all of the lines are heading north, you can see them, the blue ones, the purple. We take that trade. This was released only today after extensive time with my developer working this out. Asian session, this is the London Open. Take that trade. And we have indicators telling us where to take profit, but the best thing is just to close 50 or 60% at 1R and trail it. The New York Open, we have a rule, don't get involved until after 10:30 a.m. Well, that's 10:30 here, but see how this is pointing down? You'd have to be a little bit careful. In any case, and the other thing you can do is throw in the momentum sink to give you more entries. So always close 50%, stop loss up a little bit, and then open the next one. So there's a momentum sink alert here. And we also have see the break under here, P, and this signal here. P is from the Scout Master. You can take that. Anyway, you've got access to this. You can trial it 100% free. And if it's for you, jump on board. The links are on my website, anthonyfx.com. So let's get into some analysis. We're going to go to TradingView here now, euro dollar. That was yesterday's idea. I'm looking for the pullback down in here. Okay, euro dollar. And let's go to TradingView. All right, sharing, looking at euro dollar. So currently, look, that going on. And the other thing that we have with this is this range. All right, this is interesting. Euro dollar was under pressure today, but let's go to a 4-hour chart and get some perspective here. So yeah, uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. Volume profile. Look for this range, the high and the low. So the high back in here, throw that volume profile in. So you've captured the high and the low. All right, so at the moment, this is trending up. We grab a V-way, throw it on here, throw another one on, grab number 3. So you probably don't want to get involved until, or here's the thing, let me just explain something. We'll go down to a 30-minute time frame. This is range bound, and big money algos will work it from the high to the low, to the high, to the low. Okay, you get the picture. High and back down. So what I'm looking for is this to go into price discovery, maybe, or it tanks, right? Okay, either way. So while it's trading through this balance area, this value area, this range, you got to be really careful. Now, look, my higher time frame bias would have to be, I guess, bullish more than anything. Oh, whether there's a bit of a bearish thing there, but it's kind of leaning bullish, but questionable. Okay, now if your bias is bullish, this range I'm looking to buy when it breaks back into the range. This is fading the value area of a volume profile. So you've got a bullish bias. Okay, so you'll look to, well, watch out for that. Oh, actually, you only get in there when it breaks in above, when it breaks above the line. Sorry, my bad. Let's just open that up. You would only get involved when it breaks structure back inside the value area. All right, so yeah, when it travels back, we got, if your higher time frame bias is bullish, but I mean, it's kind of questionable. Let's just go to, what's the bigger picture? I just want to know what's going on here. Look, open it up. You know what we've got? We've got an inside week, do we? Yeah. Well, guys, inside week, and that's bearish. So it's just trading from the high to the low of this range. All right, back to the 30-minute. And what's my bias here? It'd be, well, hard to say, but yeah, if you look at it from here, I would say probably slightly leaning bullish, although that could end up in any direction. Not an easy pick at the moment, but anyway, we'll go down to the 30 minutes. So how do you get involved? And here's a trade idea for you. All I'm looking for is if this breaks, well, it's tricky because when it breaks out of the value area, you think that it's going to go into price discovery. So you look for, you probably got caught there and you might have bought there. If that's the case, you go long. All right, so you got this high and it breaks out of value. You think maybe we're going into price discovery. Stop under that low, and I would look to, this is a really volatile market. You don't know which way it's going to go. I would take 50% off the table at 1R. So secure your money and then just follow that up a little bit and know that this trade is protected, right? And no matter what happens, you're going to come out on top. So the break above this value area, tells you that it might be going into, the next rally, and you don't know. Okay, so you buy on that break, and lo and behold, it comes back down. So what we get is a lower high. So you're not going to buy here. You only buy on a higher high in a trend. Only buy on a higher high. So lower high and it breaks back down into value. You can look to short it there, targeting the point of control is your first target, and then the second target is going to be the value area low. This is a strategy, okay? Value area fade, it's called. So next port of call. Now here's the thing. All right, this is starting to look a little bit interesting. You've got this, well, trending up, kind of. If it holds above this value area low, which it may or may not, right? But I mean, it could hold at this point of control. The point of control is where there's fair value. You can see it on the volume profile. This is fair value. So you want to see this. Look, it could trade, but you don't want to, you never trade off that point of control, guys. Just don't do it. Always look for your trade at the high and low or low of a value area. And in the higher time frame bullish, you're going to look for that. It's not an easy gig, but that's essentially what you want. And then if it goes into price discovery, i.e., you break out and it's off. So, at some stage it might trend up and then it's going to look for the next where buyers and sellers agree on price, right? The next balance area, value, fair value. So it breaks out, we get a fair value gap. Right? And then it finds, so this is fair value down here. A bit of a fair value gap here, but it's the volume profile. This is fair value all through here, technically speaking. So, yeah, I mean, this is the micro level. You get a bit of a dip in here, and that's a bit of a gap, right? And this is fair value through here. But I'm looking at this more from the bigger picture. That's what, bigger players are looking at. So you don't buy or sell within this volume profile. I would wait and see VWAP. You got to get above these VWAPs. If you're going to be bullish, get above VWAP and get above this volume profile, this level high here, and then you could go long on a break and retest if you like. The thing is, it's possible it breaks back into value, in which case you would can that trade and go for a short, right? So that's exactly what would have happened here if you went long. Let's say you went long here, and I'm saying close 50% in this volatile market and be profitable. Pull your stop loss up a little bit, and then you know that if that's gone, if that stop gets hit, this is profitable. So when so that's your buy outside of value. If it trades back inside this level and comes back to retest here, then you go short, right? Stop above the previous, and there's a target is you're always going to be, or at least target one POC, and then point of control and second target is going to be that, right? So this is how you trade volume profile, and you got VWAP. So, yeah, look for option 1, long position. Where am I here? Okay, option 1 would be that. Note buy. And if it breaks, I wouldn't be buying here. Right, so I'd let that go, but I want to see it get above VWAP and throw that VWAP on the previous swing line, get this cluster going, and then get above that and get above value here. So that's my bias, or not bias, that's an idea for a buy, and it's going to be, yeah, look, I mean, dollar yen. If you're going to go short, it'd have to be a break under here, and it's the same story pretty much. I mean, if you think that's going to head south, you could sell here, but again, it's exactly the same. And if it breaks back into value, then you buy at the base of the value area. I mean, it's back and forth. You've seen it. That's kind of what we're looking for. But at the moment, that is sort of trending up, I suppose. 30-minute time frame. Yeah, I mean, that's about it, guys. I think it's not easy, right? But you need systems that give you an edge. Okay, comment. Let me know what you think. And I'm thinking if the stock markets continue up, then the dollar should weaken. If the stock markets tank and they are overextended, then this is out the window, because that would strengthen the dollar and the euro. Okay, so just keep an eye on the S&P and the NAS and just see what they're doing. End of the week, it's not the best time to be trading. And I mean, yeah, I mean, it could tank, guys. So if it breaks under here, buy or sell. All right, there's an option to possibly go short. Somebody made a smart comment on one of my videos. I was talking about this, and yeah, he was a bit cynical, and he said, yeah, all of that to end up with a buy or a sell. And he was insinuating that there's either going to be a buy or a sell. But this is really important information. If you don't have some kind of perspective on, on the market and a trade plan like I'm showing you here, you come unglued. I mean, if you're making money consistently, well, kudos to you, but just understand that this is range bound, so there's no trade until we get a price discovery in either direction, or you're going to fade the volume profile back and forth. And the ultimate setup, and this is a little bit dodgy because we've got this going on now, right? And we don't know if that's going to tank, but you want to look at the higher time frame. And if it's let me just show you this. I'll just show you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. If you find, see how that's just doing that. It's not best. You want to, okay, this is back it up. I mean, well, see, you could, okay, yeah, you could do it this way. See this? Well, that's trending, and you've got a volume profile. You can, if you drew one through there, you'd get that, right? So let's just do this and then have a look, see what that looks like. Okay, that's giving you the value area high and the value area low of this, assuming that we're here. Let's just take it back that little bit further. Let me just show you this. Hang on. So take that back. Let's just say you're here. See this? This is the value area down to the bottom and the top. Now you break under value, you can counter trend trade that short. So there's your trend there. Now, once this moves to here, let's just take that volume profile out. See the high and the low? So you've got the range now, and it's range bound. And when you look at this price action, you would think that, okay, this is in the higher time frame, your bias could probably be bullish. You don't know what's coming, right? So you're looking for that entry around the base of the volume profile range, back up, targeting, well, targeting the point of control is not much of a thing there, but if your higher time frame is bullish, I guess what I'm getting at is this. Look for the 4 hour to be, trending really nicely, because what you're going to get is value when it pulls back. So what you want to do is look for, and this is a Wyckoff thing, right? Value area, run on liquidity. So you get the volume profile will give you that. You get a bit of a fake out, shake out, all right? So this is where you want to look to get involved. Look for this kind of price action. and get in there. And then if you miss that, then, you know, you've got other options, right? So that's, I guess that's what I'm getting at. Here, yeah, a little bit of a dip under. Let's just have a look at the dip under. What does that look like? Yeah, dip down, you buy the low of this range. Just follow this value. And if your higher time frame is bullish, you know, then track that and just keep an eye on, you know, like back in here, volume profile moves. Look, see, there's a dip under, a higher low. You know, when that breaks structure, just look at it as a, you know, when it's see how it broke structure, buy. At the base of the value area, it broke structure, buy. Hope you get what I'm on about. Okay, guys. Snide comments, you know, I'm not really interested because, you know, I've been trading a long time. I think I've got a fair bit to offer. So it's not just a matter of me saying if it breaks out, bullish buy, if it breaks bearish, you know, sell. There's so much more involved, guys. And you know, anyway, take what's useful and discard the rest. With that, have a great day. And I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, comment. But if you're going to be a smart ass, you know, don't bother. Okay? Let's be kind to each other.